Canberra. Welcome to Screaming Canberra. I'm Warren Derwent, and I'll be talking about Canberra with Barry Casey. Take it away, Barry.
Well, at least the headlines are screaming, and this is one for the history books. Green light keeps Labour on the rails, reports the Canberra Times on this 3rd day of November 2012. Gallagher to lead on Rattenbury deal. ACT Labour leader Katie Gallagher has become the first state or territory Labour leader to retain power for more than 2 years after cutting a deal with Balance of Power Greens MLA Shane Rattenbury. Mr Rattenbury said he wanted the ACT to have the greenest, most progressive government in Australia. And of course, not only will the government be the greenest in Mr Rattenbury's mind, but if we had a bit of rain, Canberra would be even greener than it has been.
Thank you for that, Barry. I'll pour you that wine.
Lashings of lubrication.
So what do you think brings people to Canberra, Barry? What it is about Canberra that people like and dislike?
Well, Canberra's a much maligned place on the outside because Canberra gets blamed for every political decision that's made up on the hill there. I find that Canberra gets bagged because journalists say, and Canberra said today that your premiums will go up for a car insurance. Canberra said today this, Canberra said today that, not the government in Canberra said today. Right. So that's why Canberra gets bagged a lot, because they get blamed for everything that goes on.
Have you ever thought what Canberra might be like in 100 years?
Oh, I shudder to think. I don't know where they're going to put me, for a start. Well, it'll still be here. It'll probably have its light rail.
Yes.
It'll probably be one still of the most livable modern cities in the country. You know, another reason I believe people come to Canberra is for employment. Simply because there's employment in the public service for many people who otherwise wouldn't be able to get a job, say in Melbourne or Sydney. And then there's the people who were born here. And they've decided to stay here and grow up and bring their families up here. So there are grandmas and grandpas and sons and daughters and grandchildren, all from this area.
So was Canberra originally your hometown?
No, it wasn't. I'm from Geelong originally, in Victoria, and I worked in Melbourne. I started my media career in Geelong and then moved to Melbourne and stayed in Melbourne for 10 or so years. And then I went up to Brisbane, had 2 years there, went to London, had a year there, and it was from London I came back to Canberra to work at 2CA, which had its 80th birthday only the other day. That was Canberra's first original commercial radio station.
Did you have designs on Canberra during that whole period?
No, because we used to say in those days, oh, Canberra, oh, that's the place you fly over to go to Sydney.
Right. So tell me about some of the people you've met over your time in Canberra.
Oh, too numerous to mention. Where's that Chardonnay? Well, I gather my thought. Only recently I found myself on stage with one Barry Humphries. I interviewed him on top of one of the hotels here on the lake, and I remember the first question I posed to him. He was dressed as Barry Humphries, but I wanted Edna Everage, and it was for radio. So he just wanted to swiveled around in his chair and came back as Dame Edna Everage. It was the most unnerving thing I've ever seen. I said, Dame Edna, can you see any major changes in Canberra from this dizzy height in this hotel? And Dame Edna said, there's still the same number of people skulking round Tasmania Circle.
We hope you've enjoyed Screaming Canberra. Special thanks to my friend and well-known Canberra broadcasting identity, Barry Casey. Screaming Canberra featured original backing music written by Warren Derwent and produced by Stuart French and Doug Trevor. All other recordings are original, except for the Champagne Cork Pop, sourced online at freesfx.co.uk. Thanks for listening.